Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. And yes, the bunting is down, the Christmas decorations are down. My hat's gone. I kind of miss my hat, I have to tell you. Although I feel a bit weird. Take it all down because I'm recording this on Wednesday, January 5th. Okay, my life has been upended in the most bizarre ways. Sunday had internet problems, so I couldn't upload my video I made on Sunday, right? So so I actually ended up doing a live stream, so which weirdly kind of worked, even with the internet problem. So my video on Sunday, I then put out on Monday, and then I normally record a video in the morning, so I record a video on Monday morning. I'm like, well, I'll put that out tomorrow. Then I realized, oh no, I can't put it out on Tuesday. I do a live stream on Tuesday, so I don't want to clash, I don't do that. So, although I ended up doing a video as well, news video, but it doesn't matter. So the video I made on Monday is going out on Wednesday. So today's Wednesday, I got like 2 or 3 videos I'm making. I'm good for the rest of the weekend. And there is it's so weird going into the day with no with your videos already uploaded, ready to go. It's bizarre. It gives you a bizarre amount of relaxation, which I quite like. But anyway, my point is, I had to take my decorations down before 12th night, which I feel a bit strange about, because this is going out after 12th night. So I don't want anybody to think that I will keep them up and break tradition. And I do want to point out, I am kind of Jewish, so we're not that stringent on the rules of Christmas. Well, I guess I am. I like Christmas. Oh, can I just get my wife still hasn't frozen the Christmas pudding, and it's every day. Because if you take a bit, you just mount it back into a circle, into a sphere. I'm trying to think of the word here. And then please just freeze it, because she freezes from year to year, because I'm the only person who eats it. And every day is like a nightmare where I try and convince myself not to have a little bit more. Freaking love Christmas pudding. Why? Because I freaking love Christmas. I do. It's a little embarrassing living in an ultra-Orthodox Jewish community in Samaria, but never mind. I've always been a bit of a iconoclast. I think the word I'm looking for. Fine. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I'm telling you, mate. I got more content than I can make in 20 videos right now. It's crazy. The savaging that Doctor Who is getting, the absolute savaging, and it gets worse and worse. I've noticed that, actually, that people don't realise how bad something is in the first minute they've experienced it, right? They have to sit with it, and it goes worse and worse. So that's where we are right now. We're just in this age of, again, unlimited content. You know what it's like? Do you remember Blackadder when was the one with Tom Baker, right? When they went exploring, Blackadder the second, and they brought back a boomerang for the Queen. I think they brought back stuff for everybody, and then they said, "But you don't have anything for Lord Melcher." And then Baldric helpfully fills up 2 flagons of 2 flagons they call a distinctive wine from the. And don't worry, there's an inexhaustible supply. That's what it's like right now. There is an inexhaustible supply of people going, my God, Doctor Who is the worst thing ever. I mean, it's so strange. That's kind of what this video is going to be focusing on. It's what a lot of my videos are going to be focusing on. This is a rich theme of Jodie hate. I want to be clear. If you like the current era of Doctor Who, God bless you. I love you too, mate. I hate it. I think it's the antithesis of Doctor Who. No one can tell you you're wrong for liking something. I mean, unless it's torturing puppies. Yeah, at that point they can tell you you're wrong for that. But mostly we're talking about things of just TV. No one can tell you you're wrong for liking it. I just feel it's the absolute opposite of Doctor Who, and I think probably most of the public feel the same way because they hate it. They hate it along with me. Why do they hate it? I don't think they thought so much about it. I just think they hate it on a instinctual level. So that's the problem here, because the people who really championed this era of Doctor Who are not the best people. Okay, they're really, just on a moral level, they're really, really not good people, right? And there used to be 5 years ago, if you want to bully someone, you could you bully trans people. Incredible. Go look at YouTube from 5-10 years ago. The edgy comics of the day would would bully trans and gay people, right? That's because it was edgy humor, right? Now the self-same people, you want to bully somebody, you got to bully other people instead, and pretend you like trans people. You don't, not at all. But anyway, to be that type of person, you got to be a pretty lowly person, and that's what's really was attracted by this era Doctor. And again, if you're a decent, normal person, and I think most everybody looks at themselves that way, but if you're a decent, normal person and you like the current era Doctor, fine. I'm not talking about you then, obviously. God, it's like, like I say to my kids who are all adults now, which is the weird thing, and they still act like they're kids. I say to my kids, like, can you please put this, like, do this bit of housework, do this thing when you do this, right? And then turn to say, well, I do that. So I'm not talking to you then, you freaking idiot. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who don't do that. So I'm not talking to you. Well, I will talk to anyone. But if you like it, great. Again, I guess it's the opposite of Doctor Who. I have a YouTube channel based on that. If you want to know the reason, if you want to come and talk to me about it, come and I'll have you on my channel. There's one guy. There's a few actually. It changes. Maybe there's the same person who like absolutely hates everything I have to say, but will watch everything and come. Dude, just come on the channel, mate. And we can talk this out. It's not a big deal. I mean, worst case scenario, we disagree and we think each other is awful, right? Actually, no, the worst case scenario is you made to look like an idiot because you babble nonsense. I guess that's probably why you're resident. Anyway, fine. Before we get to the video, 6.5 minutes in. 6.5 minutes in. I haven't started. Could you hit the like button, please? That'd be nice. Like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are good. If you rumble, hit the rumble button. And thank you very much. Many of you have been rumbling, like a bit of a rumble. I look at other people and I've got like 60 rumbles now. I'm like, whoa! I look at other people, they have like 3, and like Joe Rogan. By the way, there's this big interview that's been scrubbed from the internet, apart from on Rumble, so I have to go and find it with Joe Rogan and this professor who's like basically says, oh yeah, everyone's crazy. Everyone will believe anything. Yeah, very, very, very convincingly talking about the pandemic. But I can't talk about it because I haven't seen it because they scrubbed it from me. Anyway, if you're on Rumble, hit the Rumble button. Mostly, though, sign up to my Substack. In the video notes, my Substack, may I say, is freaking awesome, right? Look, I'm quite a creative guy, okay? I'm quite a creative guy with a fair amount of energy. Listen. It's very important to know yourself, right? Listen, I have my failings, I have my strong points. I have a lot of energy. And I'm a creative person, so I wish I had more time. And then I'll create more stuff. But I love doing that sort of stuff, right? So I make comics, I write books, I write screenplays. So I'm putting that stuff out on my Substack as well as keeping you up to date what's going on. It's basically a Twitter replacement. I got to look at this thing, Getter. What else? Like every time I look, there's another thing I got to deal with. Really? Oh, God, I envy my grandparents. I remember we went to, what was it? This very cut price 80s electronic store in like the mid 80s where they got their first video recorder, VCR as you call them in America. And we brought it home. I set it up for them. It blew their mind. You could watch one channel and record another. Couldn't work out how that happened. And I will set the clock up for them. Anyway, every time I come back, that clock was flashing. Same time. You've all had the same experience, right? You've all had exactly the same experience. That's like me. I'm like, there's a new social media. Really? Isn't Parler enough of a pain in the ass? I got to do another one now. Fine, Getter. Fine, I'll get on Getter. Whatever the hell that is. I don't know. Like, can't we just talk to each other again? That was nice. Fine. Like, share, so do sign up to my Substack, right? Substack is going to be freaking awesome. It is not going to be awesome. It is awesome. And also, this month, I'm going to be launching, well, I've already launched it because people are already signing up for it. My paid Substack, where you're going to get stonking 50 pages of awesome comics every month, right? Absolute stonking 50 pages of comics all this month, every month. Listen, I'm not monetized. I'm not making any money from this. If you can throw me $5 a month, and I tried to make it 3, but they wouldn't let me. They said you minimum 5. Really? No, gotta be 5. So fine. $5 a month. Thank you very much. And it's $50 for the year. I got a year's worth of content. You're not going to get gypped, okay? I will make sure you get a year's worth of content. That'll be fan-dabby. Double dosey. Fine! What else is found, Abby Dozy? Being vindicated. Don't you like being vindicated? Being vindicated is a great thing. And I think that's pretty much where we are in life right now. Let's pull up this news story. Here we go. Doink. Okay, yeah, now being vindicated is always fun. Everybody likes it. Everybody enjoys being vindicated. And everybody hates being proved wrong. So the bullies, essentially the bullies that are the toxic fans, the who really love the current era of Doctor Who, and they just came in and they bullied and they were like, oh my god, their hype was a couple of years ago. Oh my god, it's over now because they look like schmucks. Okay, that's basically what happened because of this. So they were like, no, it's the best it's ever. It's so stunning, so brave, oh, so stunning and brave, and break the glass ceiling, oh, now the scissoring in the TARDIS, yeah, all this crap that nobody really cares about. You know, an incredible thing with my one of my recaps and reviews of Eva the Daleks. The guy who stalks me, who hates everything I have to say, that guy, he said, oh, I bet this episode is going to really freak out some not transphobes, what was it, gayphobes, homophobes? I can't remember what the name is, because you know what? Nobody's been that for decades. I mean, I don't know, is there still gay bashing going on? I guess there must be, right? I guess there must be, but, you know, people always are, but it's just not, there's not enough racism to justify their insane insistence there's racism in here. Anyway, it's breaking the glass ceiling, and they're all so excited, and then, but the thing they don't like more than that is backing the wrong horse. They hate it when something's not popular, right? They absolutely hate it. They hate being embarrassed. They hate being let down. So now they basically turned on it, right? They basically turned on the stunning and brave Jodie Whittaker, which is what we're going to be looking at right here. So first, let's start off with the Daily Mail. I got to pick this from the Sun, the Mirror, every place has an article. What we're going to see in a minute, more of that. Doctor Who New Day special suffered its worst ratings since the show was rebooted in 17 years ago. Okay, firstly, it wasn't rebooted; it was revived. And secondly, no, it's actually worse, more than that. The worst ratings was a 3.1 overnight for Battlefield Episode 1. We all noticed that season 26, started with a 3.1 and went up and up and up and up. The absolute opposite trajectory of Jodie Whittaker's ratings. The absolute opposite. So it's a fair amount longer than that. I think it's fair to say if you can be honest about it, it's the worst ratings ever, right? Because 3.1, okay, McCoy only had an overnight. Didn't have a catch-up. Well, you're like, well, there wasn't catch-up. Yes, it was called videotapes. Remember my grandparents with a flashing clock? Who were? Yes, everybody had catch-up. Oh, God, so stupid. And you know, it was more, the way they do the catch-up numbers now is if you have a 2-minute watch, that's a view. Sod off. No, it's not. Then you got to look at the demographic, and then, the population size between 89 and 2020. There's been a 15% growth. I think it's like a lot. It's a large increase, right? So just apply that increase to your 3.1, and you're well over it. So I'm sorry. I think you could say this is the worst ratings ever, right? The worst rating ever. And yes, they're gonna finagle things with the catch up. It'll probably be about I'm saying under 4.5. I don't see it going above 4.5. Maybe on the 30-day. Maybe just give it a lot of bollocks. I don't know. So it's not entirely correct. Pulling in nearly 6 million less viewers than in 2018. Yeah. Do you remember how they all crowed about, oh, look at this, 11.96 million for Jodie's first episode. Oh, she broke the glass ceiling. She went on the David Tennant podcast saying, I didn't break it. Don't claim victory, okay? Big Finish is called Big Finish because you have to wait till the finish. Nothing's over till it's over, baby. And let me tell you, Doctor Who under your reign is over. Doctor Who New Year's special suffered its worst ratings since the show was rebooted 17 years ago. Honestly, even though I find this inaccurate, I like that this is drilling down into the public consciousness. I think Doctor Who is the face of everything the British public hate about the BBC. I mean, Jodie Whittaker, horribly miscast as a doctor, just absolutely horribly miscast as a doctor, and unable, doesn't even know how miscast she is as a doctor. Who's less competent, Jodie Whittaker or Chris Chibnall? I really don't know. I really don't know. It's really hard to work out which one's less. But and the reason this has happened, why? Because the BBC is run by people who believe very much so that capitalism is the worst thing ever, and bigotry is invaded every aspect of the country, and they must fight it. Cause they're insane. Okay, they are freaking insane. That's why. The episode, which starred current Time Lord Jodie Whittaker, just brought in 3.4 million. No. That was Doctor Who Flux episode 6. This got a 3.21. Okay, 3.21. You're not even bloody close. Compared to 9 million and 20. I know. And that was Capaldi's last one, I think, wasn't it? I love Twice Upon a Time. It comes across as Davis is returning to the showrunner in a bid to save the show amid failing ratings 12 years after he stepped away from the series. Yes! How much more egg? Well, can you have any egg? But here's the thing. When you got so much egg on your face, people often will just pretend it's not there. They'll say, no, there's no egg anywhere. No egg on my face. I mean, honestly, if you follow my channel, people know I had a titanic let's say struggle, opposition to our local rabbi, because he kept breaking Jewish law, right? I'm like, yeah, dude, that's really not what a rabbi should be doing. And his point was, I'm so freaking holy, I can break Jewish law. It's not even an issue. Anyway, so everybody said, oh, you're crazy, Lebetkin. It's the rabbi. He can't be breaking Jewish law. I'm like, but look, we just saw it happen. It's like, it's going on right there. Like, I showed it inside. And then he basically broke Jewish law in such a huge way. I figured, oh, this is it. But no. It brought people to my eyesight because he broke Jewish law by insulting everybody in the world. Like, everybody who were paying his say. Everybody, right? Everybody. But he also insulted God at the same time. They didn't notice the God bit, right? But the point is, he left them with so much egg on everybody. Everybody other than me. Everybody has the same amount of egg on my face because they say, he's a rabbi. He can't be as bad as you're saying, Tzvi. I'm like, but look, he's doing that. So anyway, now there's no real argument about it whatsoever. But there's so much egg on so many people's faces, I'm not allowed to mention it, right? I'm not allowed to bring it up at all because everybody has meltdowns, right? Because you have so much egg on it. This is what this is. So much egg on so much face, right? But now it just goes into waffle. A source told The Sun, Jodie's leaving behind bad viewing figures that are among the worst in the show's long history. Yes, that's entirely correct. Yes, there they are. Although far more people watch the program on catch-up. No! This doesn't make up for the decline in viewers since 2018. No. Average catch-up was around... Lowest one was 1.85 million, I believe, for Capaldi. That was the highest one for Jodie Whittaker. Normally she gets about between 6 and 800,000, right? Sometimes a million, sometimes between 6 and 1.2, if I'm going to be fair, right? Yeah, it's the new Daleks, the executioner Daleks, who has such a fearsome gun it couldn't break through a normal door of a storage unit. I mean, right? It really couldn't. My theory was, these are mentally retarded Daleks on some kind of day release program being told they're executioners. Like, now we're executing. No, we'll just send them to the dock. They'll get killed. Who cares? Fine, but yeah, this kind of goes on and on and on. But let's see. The pummeling continues, right? Now we're in the Daily Telegraph. Now, Daily Telegraph, all of a sudden, we're in like grown-up newspapers, right? It's not the Sun, it's not the Mail, it's not the Times, but it's the Daily. What happened to my eye? Did I just? It looks like I've got a black eye there. I think I just rubbed it. Okay, never mind. Now, this is a huge admission of failure. Why Jodie Whittaker failed as Doctor Who. I mean, really? How much more of a failure can you get than the headline in a mainstream normie paper? Why Jodie Whittaker failed as Doctor Who? Because she was miscast for all the reasons I've said in this video thus far. Despite being doubtlessly talented, I don't know anymore, right? Everything I've seen her in that don't think she was awful. has been stuff that doesn't take massive amounts of talent, right? It's very naturalistic, right? I mean, I would say Meryl Streep is very, very talented because she makes me think that she's this person. Now she makes me think she's this totally different person, right? And body language, I think she is hugely talented. I think she's a lying douchebag too, but I think she's hugely talented, right? Jodie Whittaker doesn't strike me as being talented. Well, being doubtlessly talented. I doubt it, mate, okay? I'm a bit of a doubter at this one. Call my name, call me Thomas. The first one to play Time Lord was let down poorly throughout let down poorly through by poorly thought. Okay, they're missing a word. It was let down by poorly thought, at times nonsensical plot lines. That's one of the reasons, but again, the other reason was she just wasn't trained in any way to be able to do this job, right? On New Year's Day, Doctor Who suffered its worst overnight rating since the show was revived to universal acclaim in 2005. No, worst overnight rating since 1989, and again, I'm calling bullshit on that as well. I think worst overnight rating since 1963. Worst rating since 1963, and we've had some bad patches, right? We've had some very bad patches. Some 3.4, no, 3.21. Tell you, nobody checks their sources. No wonder journalism is a joke nowadays. Compared to the 9.4 million who watched David Tennant's first Christmas special in 2005, and the 10.5 who lapped up Matt Smith's debut fifth outing in 2010, which was the best one. Yes, in terms of Christmas specials, that was again. It might not be the best Doctor Who story, and I think it's actually a very good Doctor Who story, but it might have been but it was a story that would entertain a mainstream audience, and it was perfect. Okay, absolutely perfect. Honestly, I more and more I'm thinking that about the Matt Smith years. I mean, just really perfect Doctor Who, more so than Ralph C. Davis. I think Ralph C. Davis is a better writer than Stephen Moffat, right? Because I think he's one of the most talented writers, like that. I think Moffat's a good writer. I think Gatler's good, but Ralph C. Davis is in a totally, totally different category. But I still think Moffat's Doctor Who was, when it was good, it was better than Russell C. Davis's. But again, I like RTD stuff. Okay, so the latest episode, Eve of the Daleks, appeared to have all the ingredients required for a New Year's Day ratings winner. It reunited the Doctor with the bug-eyed foes, which is the reason they brought it in. Who have been around since the very first season back in 1963. In fact, Doctor Who, we can I think agree exists mostly because of the Daleks, right? Mostly because of the Daleks, because it was not doing that well. And suddenly the Daleks came and everyone was like, "What's that? What's that? Wait, what?" If you haven't seen An Adventure in Time and Space, you got to find that. It's brilliant, and it really shows you how Dalek Mania saved Doctor Who. Probably saved Verity Lambert as well. It reunited the Doctor with his bug-eyed foes who have been around since 1963. It featured a high-profile comedian. God, people keep telling me in the comments how to say her name, and I keep getting it wrong. Aislingby. It was it. Aislingby. You don't pronounce the L. Aislingby. So why Jodie Whittaker's tenure as the first female Doctor Who, first female Time held from the start as a brave new era 4 years ago, received such a lukewarm reception? The answer's is in the question, right? Because you lean back on that ridiculous crutch, first female Time Lord, as if that is something, right? And it wasn't the first female Time Lord, first female Doctor. It gets over and over again, and it's okay. When you drill down to the absolute bottom of it, it's this insane belief that men and women are interchangeable, which I think comes from a good spot, right? I think that comes from people say men and women are equal, which obviously they are, right? I think everybody, all human beings, I believe in God, right? So I believe all human beings are equal, right? I think we're all born equal in the eyes of God, right? Some of us have different advantages, some of us have different opportunities than others, but we're all equal, right? It doesn't matter. If you're very, very wealthy or not, we are intrinsically who we are, and that's of intrinsic value. Great example, by the way, Alan Moore, right? Alan Moore, fantastic writer. He used to be a comic book writer and moved on. He's got this great contract with, who is it? Can't remember this book company now. But yeah, he's moved into novels in his 60s, 70s. Absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliantly intelligent person. I'll say like John Lydon as well, right? Both people from very lowly backgrounds that were not expected to have much of a impact or career in their lives, right? And it turned out, I would say Johnny Lydon and Alan Moore, probably two of the most important artists in the 20th century. Their artistic voices are so important, right? and so influential. Yeah, because this idea that because you have immutable characteristics, you have lesser opportunities is insane. It's absolutely insane. And if that does exist anywhere, that you have lesser opportunities because of your immutable characteristics, I'm with you, mate. That's wrong. I will march with you. I will say we have to change the law. But I think we changed all the laws, and I think it is. We all agree. We don't agree with that anymore. We're not up for that. Right, so that's why, because essentially we received a lukewarm reception because the point of it is to re-educate the British public, which the BBC clearly looked down upon, and say, oh, don't be naughty little bigot wiggets, oh no, be good people, we will show you how with studying and brave entertainment. And most people go, well, this entertainment is garbage, I'm not interested in it, it's telling me black is white, and up is down. Like, I know who a woman is, I know who a man is. I don't think you can exchange the two, right? I think they have equal opportunity, and I think if somebody likes to dress or present themselves in a gender that's not theirs in our society, it's completely acceptable. Nobody should have a problem with it, right? I do think there are women who have women who have vaginas, because that's how we got to talk nowadays. Not all women, just the women with vaginas or born with those chromosomes that would produce a vagina as opposed to a penis. They often like exclusive spaces of women, just women with vaginas. I don't know why. You go to talk to them about it, but that's the case. But generally speaking, but again, it's this cornerstone insanity is why it's failed, is why it's been rejected, because it keeps trying to scream at us a reality that we know not to be the case. It doesn't reflect reality whatsoever. And if I'm being honest, I think it's become pretty clear over the last couple of years to me that this whole idea of making men and women interchangeable, of blurring the boundaries of the sexes, it's really the end game. And I'm not saying if you're trans, you're sexually attracted to children. I'm very, very clearly not saying that. But I think people who are sexually attracted to children are using trans people and are using marginalized people to make their proclivity for sexual attraction to children more acceptable, right? And I think, honestly, they control the entirety of the left wing, the Democratic Party in America, and every one of their policies seems to have the weird common denominator. It produces more children that you can schnoop. They can more easily schnoop. Educational policy, they're teaching kids, oh no, this is perfectly normal. Books telling kids that it's okay to give your girlfriend, if you're a girl, give your girlfriend a blowjob on their strap-on when they're 12. Okay, no, that's not okay. But anyway, that's the education policy, economic policy. Poverty makes people do terrible things. Poverty, immigration policy. Lots and lots of unaccompanied children being bussed into the middle of nowhere in America. It just seems every policy, the common denominator is having more children that is easier to schnoop. Okay, that's basically and I'm not saying that's a good thing, right? I'm not saying that's a good thing, but that essentially is why I think it failed. But let's see what this guy thinks. Certainly, she's a gifted actress, and anybody who's seen her in a feature film debut, Venus, opposite Peter O'Toole, will attest. Never seen it, and so I can't attest that. I've seen her in Broadchurch, and I saw it in Attack the Block. Didn't really strike me in either, right? Didn't stand out in either. She didn't stand out as being awful either. But that's basically, Jodie Whittaker, I would rate her acting, I would describe it as mostly harmless, right? Mostly harmless. I think that's a fair way of describing her wonderful acting abilities. She's given us an endearing, eccentric doctor. No, not endearing. Listen, not to me. Give me a hateful moron doctor who can't do anything. Wacky when required. Only wacky. Okay, she has two expressions. There's like goofy clown. Oh, I just blew up all the Daleks. Oh, I'm gonna commit genocide. She has that one, and she has a sad little girl who's lost her dolly. Oh. And then she has lecture mode. Oh, icky thump! You can wreck planets or you can save them. Yeah, that's her three modes, right? That's her acting. So yeah, I have to disagree with you. With a chorus steely determination. No! God's sake, no! Whenever she... Oh, God, no steely determination. Which, yeah, is why Sylvester McCoy wasn't initially given the role. They said, look, he's a nice enough guy. He's a funny inventor, but does he have the mettle to be the Doctor? That's why he had those screen tests. Get the season 24 Blu-ray or Time in the Rani DVD for a screen test. They're fascinating. It's really fascinating. But yeah, I have to tell you, something I've been thinking about a lot, right? A lot, which far too much recently, is that scene in Remembrance of the Daleks, episode 1, where he comes across the first body of somebody who's been killed by a Dalek, and he puts his hand underneath the sheet, and he's like, that reaction shot, said, oh, massive internal display. That reaction shot so sold that story to me. I can't wait till season 25's on Blu-ray. Freaking love Remembrance of the Daleks. I mean, I absolutely love Remembrance of the Daleks. And I'm just thinking, it's so starkly opposite to Whittaker's acting choices and I think ability, frankly, right? I just think it's so starkly. And you haven't seen Remembrance of the Daleks, dude. You got to see Remembrance of the Daleks. It's awesome, right? It's freaking awesome. And it's also an example of how things come together well. The special weapons Dalek was initially supposed to be a floating gun platform, like something of from Masters of the Universe. Thank God they rethought that. Oh, I love the special weapons Dalek. Anyway, I digress. See, this is what happens when I talk about Jodie Whittaker. My mind just starts going to things I actually enjoy. That's why I'm looking forward to Russell Lee Davies' Doctor Who. Really, and more than anything, because I just want to like stuff again, right? I want to gush about things. Which, if you watch my reviews of Alex Lee's season 13, that's what I like to do. I like to go, oh, this is awesome, and this is why it's awesome, right? Do I have it? Oh yeah. Fine, I'm going to plug it. I plug it whenever it's it, because this is the best Doctor Who being made now, right? Best Doctor Who being made right now. Season 13. Check Dr. Alex's channel. If this is going out on Friday, there'll be a review of it. Anyway, of last week's episode. Fine, so there, that took me on a real bender. If a poem was occasionally veered towards broad, pratfalling as if she were commanding a second billing at a matinee poem with a Jack the Beanstalk, it certainly didn't feel out of place on a show that had a tendency to ramp up the camp. I would say that's true of Doctor Who Flux, but the nonsensicalness of the plot line. I mean, you did get the goofy fun of season 24, right? You got that goofy fun of season 24 in Doctor Who Flux, but the plot lines were diabolical, and Whittaker's central performance atrocious, absolutely atrocious. By the way, I just want to tell you, everyone's going, "Oh no, don't ruin the sea devils, not the sea." Go watch Warriors of the Deep. I mean, look, seeing Ingrid Pitt karate chop at the Merker, it was perhaps one of the lowest points of my life, not Doctor Who, of my life. I was like, oh no, oh God, no. Please don't let anybody at school be watching this. Oh, yeah. I don't know, but I just think having a low budget, bad production values is not as bad as having a terrible central performance and terrible scripts. Her co-stars have been more of a problem. The crowded TARDIS at the start of her time didn't help matters. Excuse me. Season 1, you had Jackie, you had Mickey, you had Rose, you had Captain Jack, and they all shone. And we loved all of them, right? We loved all of them. So don't go to that ridiculous old chestnut. The crowd that told us at the start of the time when the show didn't help matters, and neither has a more recent high-profile signing of comedian John Bishop as a hapless assistant. Dan, I think that's kind of fair. Hapless is a fair description of that. If you compare these companions to Billy Piper's role with Catherine Tate-Stoner, they pale in comparison. Yes, because again, they were characters played by talented actors. I mean, Bradley Walsh did sterling work with his with Graham, right? Absolute sterling work. But the other main obstacle have been scripts under Chris Chibnall. Yes, they have been simplistic and cliche-ridden, and that's that's when they have made any sense. I mean, it's so true. I'm fascinated. I wish I could look 5 years in the future, right, and see what his career will be, right? Fascinated, and Whittaker as well. Right, this has got to be one of the all-time greatest failures in television, right? Chibnall reached his nadir in 2020's Lone Cyberman arc. Yes! God, look at this picture of Whittaker trying to look cool. She's so bad at it, right? She's so bad at it. Which started out dreary and somehow went downhill. You're describing Chibnall who, baby? Worship was last year's Doctor Who Flux miniseries. The storyline, which appeared to have been scribbled on a beer map 5 minutes before the camera started rolling. That's Chibnall. Ow. I feel bad for Chibnall. Okay, I know he did bad, but that was harsh. Okay, that's pretty darn harsh. But accurate, right? Absolutely accurate. 5 minutes before the start. Before the camera started running, it was so awful the BBC felt obliged to subsequently release a video in which Chibnall explained the plot. That's really embarrassing. This is all contrived garbage, lamented geek culture website Bleeding Cool. Man, Bleeding Cool's out against you. You know, Bleeding Cool, the Goebbels of the culture wars. When you need a showrunner to spend 15 minutes to spell it all out, explaining the entire thing. Okay, he's not mad. They're not mad at that. They're mad that it failed, right? They're mad that have egg all over their face. That's what they're mad at it for, right? They're not mad that it was garbage. Everything else has been garbage. What? Okay, why are you picking this over a Timeless Child, over Orphan 55? No, it's because that now you can say categorically it's an utter failure and you hate it because of it. God, I mean, why didn't you say, look, I guess we got it wrong. We were all full of crap. But no. And here's the incredible thing, right? If you can admit that you're wrong, if you can admit that you made a mistake, you're so much stronger and better a person, right? You just are. Explaining this as you make it comprehensible and it still comes off as incomprehensible rubbish. The failure of writing, it's a failure of writing a story. Let me read that again. When you need the showrunner to spend 15 minutes to spell it all out, explaining the entire season to you to make it comprehensible, and it still comes off as incomprehensible rubbish, it's a failure of writing and storytelling. Whittaker's legacy is hard to assess because the recent plots have been all plots have been such gibberish. When has it ever been any good? I mean, again, look at her on this mode. She's so just like miscast. It's just not fair. It's like me being on I don't ride a bike. It's like me being on the bike trying to look cool. It's not going to work. Would any of her predecessors have fared better wading through the dreadful flux? Anybody? Yeah, listen, you add her performance onto it, right? And it gets even worse. Better writing might help Whittaker by the Doctor to remember and defy the misogynist. That's why they're mad! They wanted to go, see, it would, and it failed, and man. At the end of Russell Davis's It's a Sin, which I love. You know why I love it? So much honesty. And I love honesty, right? I just do. And it's something that has not served me well in my life, loving honesty. But there's a bit where Lydia West's character, who I don't think is going to be the next Doctor, was talking to Ollie Alexander's mother, who another great actress, I can't remember who she was. But that whole scene when she finds out and there's the meltdown, and if you haven't seen it, so recommend it. It's really, really very good. Well, she does something pretty bad. It's a sin. That's the name. At the end, and Lydia West confronts her and says the worst thing about AIDS, the absolute worst thing about AIDS, it proved people like you right. And yes, and that God, and yeah, listen, I don't want to. I don't want to say that like AIDS is a plague against gays because they defied God. I think God is, and I believe in God, right? I think God is an infinite thing, so I think everything is connected to God. Honestly, if I'm going to try and give over what I think was the biblical Old Testament view, I think the biblical Old Testament view is love everybody. Like people are all good, people are all intrinsically good. The function of life is basic. The basic function of Judeo-Christian morality, according to Judeo-Christian morality, is to give you a better life and make you happier and raise your soul up, right? And there's and everything in life is used for that reason. Sex is there for a reason. So the way they were using sex in episode 1, regardless of being same sex or hetero, I don't think that's what sex is for, right? And I do think AIDS is a response to that, right? But I'm not saying kill the guy. No. And honestly, if people did the right thing, if people wanted to do something that wasn't a sin, right, during the AIDS thing, I would have said I felt embarrassed as a religious person that more religious people didn't go and sit with the victims dying of AIDS, like give them comfort, because that was the religious thing to do. So I felt. If I would feel ashamed at anything, it will be that, right? Not that. Look, I didn't write the Bible, baby. It's what it said. But it's but again, that core thing of like being proved wrong. That's what's making this thing crazy, right? That's what's making them sick. Defying the misogynist who circled around the news of her casting. No, they were worried, and they turned out to be proved right. And I wasn't one of them, even, to say this was a politically correct, idiotic decision that's going to just work out very, very, very badly, right? And it turned out to be 100% correct, which is why you are saying it makes you sick. But with Chibnall and his writing team often misfiring on all cylinders, her time on the show is predestined to go down as one of the greatest missed opportunities in recent history. Yes, not just one of the greatest missed opportunities, one of the worst periods in history where it's going to be lambasted forever, right? It's everything they didn't want, right? It's everything they didn't want. Of course, despite the recent racing disaster of BBC, one of the biggest global brands, there is a glimmer of hope. It was announced in September Russell Day was responsible for the 2005 transfer return becoming to oversee proceedings. Yes, because it went so badly. It's also likely the next opportunity will be a woman with Lydia West, one of the stars of It's a Sin, a current favourite. No, get your head out your ass. I mean, again, you just don't want to be wrong. And Russell Davis may go the same way, right? If he does, I think his chances of success drop massively. Right now, I'm giving him a 92% chance he can turn this around and make Doctor Who great, right? Make it beloved. If he casts a woman, that's going to go down to about 28% chance. I mean, that's how much it hurts it, right? Maybe. Listen, I'm not like these people. I would be happy to be proved wrong. I really would. I think whatever happens, we're going to get a decent person playing the Doctor. Davis is a rare beast with an intelligent populace, and there is no doubt the mainstay of British culture will thrive again. Alas, Whittaker, his intervention has come too late. She was the problem. She wasn't an innocent bystander, right? So the savaging then continues, right? It goes on and on and on and on and on. What's this one over here? As a story proves a Doctor Who needs to make a change. It's time to reclaim the TARDIS team. So this is the thing they thought would be the critic armor, right? The same-sex thing. So I mean, this is Digital Spy, which is normally on time, but they hate being proved wrong. They just hate it. Okay, let me just skip. Of course, the main talking part of the has been the long-awaited fan confirmation of more than a friend feelings between 13 and Yaz. Yes, but beyond the yearning looks and the meaning conversation, it proves Doctor Who works best when there's only one companion. No, I do tend to disagree. I mean, it works best when somebody can write companions, when somebody can write human beings are there. Whittaker's Doctor came an unprecedented introduction of 3 companions. No, again! No! What are you talking about? Susan, Ian, and Ian and Barbara. You don't remember them? They were around. There were three of them. That was again Mickey, Rose, Captain Jack, and Jackie. It wasn't nobody claiming about the crowded TARDIS then. Split between three companions. Their characters suffered as a result. No, they suffered as a result of Chris Chibnall's inability to write. Each companion, in a bid to be given equal to, came across as two-dimensional. Throughout the 2 seasons, we learned about them. Rice's fracture and steady building of his confidence, Graham's loneliness and passing his wife Grace, and Yaz's. None of this was there. You're making all this up. Blah, 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 blah. Finally compared with the colossal fate of Rose's desertion colossal fallout of Rose's desertion parallel universe, Ryan and Graham's exit was sweet, but did little to move anybody to tears since the stakes felt so low. Well, here's the thing: they don't. Chibnall thinks the stakes are incredibly high with everything he does, because he thinks everything he does is incredibly important. But how important were past companions? Okay, but they're waffling on. So what's the problem with Yaz? In the latest, bloody hell, skipped a lot of waffle there. In the latest New Year's episode, we see the pattern returning. Since Yaz has been in the TARDIS so long, she settles happily between the Doctor and Dan without Ryan and Graham. She is able to thrive on her own and give her more time to get to know. No, she's just awful all the time. Okay, she's just awful. In the most impactful moment of the episode, there's a conversation between Yaz and Dan where he falls to the current feelings for the Doctor. And it was not impactful in any way, right? Okay. This one scene shows more of an insight into Yaz's character than any that has come before. We truly feel her inner struggle and how she processes such immense revelations. The purity and intensity of the relationship between Yaz and the 13 is made clear. Nothing pure and intense about it. It's virtually okay, whatever, and gets us invested in how things will pan out between. It's going to pan out with Dr. Jodie kissing Yaz and regenerating. With only 2 episodes left, it's unlikely we will see the full potential of the spot between Yaz and 13. That's absolutely going to be a major. That and the division and all that other crap is going to be a major part of the centenary special. Oh yes, please. Oh yes, please. Sizzling in the tad. I hope it does as badly and it's as embarrassing as this. That'll be so funny. Yeah, I think about that. With only 2 episodes there, blah, 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 blah. However, it's been confirmed the TARDIS team thrives best when the viewers... no, it hasn't been confirmed. It hasn't been confirmed. You're just full of crap, right? You're just full of... I got another article. I'll go, I can't. I just can't, mate. My brain's melting, okay? There's only so much I can do. But I think it's fair to say the media's been a bit strange. All Jodie Whittaker, and they just don't like that she's failed. They don't like that she's failed. They don't like they've got egg all over the face. They don't like they've been proved wrong. And let's be clear. They failed. They've been proved wrong. They have egg all over their faces. And you're going to see more and more extreme behavior the more and more this goes on. I mean, there's this news story the other day about politician AOC, Alexander Ocasio-Cortez, who's been a very big mask activist, right? And so she went to holiday to Miami and partied without a mask on. Didn't follow any of these COVID rules, even though they're not in place in Miami, which has a very good, is doing very well for Corona. Florida, much better than places with all the masks and mandates, whatever. But the point is this. We're going to see more and more insane behavior because just like we saw with this woman AOC. When she was called out on it, she said, "Oh, you so weird people, you just want to date me." What? No. No. I don't. I really don't. I mean, really, totally don't. I'm not even in a fantasy of a fantasy. No, not really. But you're going to see more and more insane behavior. I get it. Was it? There's we've seen the crazy Twitterati. They'll try to defend this episode. The creepy serial killer Nick, who's stalking Ethan B, and then ends up being the romantic hero. I said, "Is that any different from Donna's fiance?" Yes, he was the villain. He was not the hero. But again, this is Christian from Doctor Who. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell, so you are notified when new videos drop.